Hello and welcome to Just a Moment. My name is Kristen Harding. Welcome to the show. Today, my guest unfortunately had to postpone, so they will be appearing on Thursday. But I have a few chapters left of Bringers of the Dawn, so that's what we're going to do today. So, we were discussing all of the chapters, and we are actually on part 6 now of Bringers of the Dawn, and we are on chapter 15. So I'm just going to pop over here to the comments and see if anyone's joined us yet. Doesn't look like it, but that's okay. Sometimes I will get a notification that no one has been watching and no one has commented. And then I'll go to share it, and there's like 400 to 500 people who actually have. So it's a mystery to me. The magic of these platforms is simply a mystery to me. But let's get started. So, as I said, we are on chapter 15 of Bringers of the Dawn by Barbara Marciniak. It's a wonderful little message, and I think it's applicable now. So, let us begin. It says, Earth's initiation through integrity. This beautiful earth is a treasure so profound and so magnanimous that it draws those far in space to come cherish the beauty that is here. We want you to feel that beauty inside yourselves and let it pulsate within your own beings. As you allow this beauty to come into you, it will move you profoundly, and you will begin as a species to command that beautification of Earth become the first priority for all. We want to seed this idea into you so that you awaken to your responsibility to Earth. We have awakened within you the responsibility to yourselves, and you are on the road to becoming the best that you can be. We congratulate you. Now, what are you going to do for Earth? And how are you going to do it? We have taught you to command the best for yourselves in all possible moments. Since Earth is your home, how are you now going to extend this energy to Earth and affect this planet with what you know? How many of you have walked your own property, considering it a sacred space, and let Earth know how much you treasure it? That sort of communication will get you involved with the beautiful Earth. Involve yourself in doing. Look at your garbage, at what you are throwing away, and at what you are unconscious of. It is an exact reflection of what we have asked you to do with yourselves. Look at your thoughts and the garbage that clutters your psyche. All that we have taught you, you can extend to the earth. Wherever you go, communicate with Earth and let the planet know that you are awakening. You must think of yourself as a thread of light. Wherever you walk, drive, fly, or visit, you are carrying your thread of light. As more and more threads are woven around the planet, eventually there will be a fantastic cosmic wave of light. We are in a world that is on the brink of slowing down before it goes into a mad frenzy. You can begin that slowdown by consciously taking greater care of Earth. The predominant consciousness on Earth at this time, particularly in the United States, maintains that having the best looking lawn is a status symbol. In order to have the best looking lawn, you use as many pesticides and chemical fertilizers as possible until the lawn begins to look like a carpet that would be in your living room. Where did that value system come from? And what is the sense in it? The sense in that value system is that someone made money off a product and created a marketing campaign that gave the product legitimacy and someone bought it. Communicate with Earth, listen to it, and let this beautiful planet teach you how to live in harmony. This is a slow process, and you're not going to learn it overnight. Hear Earth saying, listen, would you like someone pouring pesticides on your skin? This is what happens when you pour them on the Earth. Earth is a sentient being or a collection of beings. The sentient beings that make up Earth came into this collective of consciousness out of love for the unity of this consciousness and desire to experience being a home for consciousness. This is like you being the home for all the bacteria and all the things that live on your skin and inside your body. You work with them. Earth understands that in order to be a good mother to its children, it must let the children learn their own lessons. Your lessons are, of course, the lessons of responsibility. If you want something, there are certain ramifications and things that you must do, responsibilities you must take to accomplish your goal. Earth is teaching human beings responsibility by allowing you to create disruption upon its surface and into its interior. When Earth is in jeopardy and humanity has pushed things too far, Earth will do whatever is necessary to teach the human species about the proper care of its home, in order for you as the inhabitants to learn a bigger lesson. In divine love of humanity and divine acceptance of its role as a teacher, Earth will teach you about its own secrets and power so that you can understand how to walk with cooperation and love of Earth and not walk with disrespect. This inevitably leads to an overwhelming probability of Earth doing some major changes in order to capture the consciousness of human beings and point out to them what they are missing. If 20 million people disappeared in an afternoon because of an Earth change, perhaps the other humans would wake up. Perhaps. You have heard the predictions of Earth changes over and over again. Some of you have taken them with a grain of salt. You have not thought that they would happen to you, though you might think that they would happen to someone else or in the newspaper halfway around the world. What about when a change happens at your doorstep or in the next city over? What about when the major cities in the United States begin to collapse? How do you think it will feel if you awake someday and find that there has been a tear in the earth from New York City to Washington, D.C.? Would that be enough to shake you up a little bit? Enough to restructure and revalue your lives? You are becoming more aware of what is going on because now your newspapers are beginning to carry the stories. The stories have actually been there for some time. There have been environmentalists and conservationists talking about environmental changes for 20 years, but people figured that the problems would fix themselves. Besides, environmental issues do not sell newspapers, and to a certain extent, people have not been interested in learning about responsibility. That attitude is going to backfire. Most people will claim ignorance and think that the issues came out of nowhere. Things are going to get so severe that we predict that there will be countries that will ban the use of the automobile. Well, they tried, didn't they? Earth's teachings or lessons at this time have to do with many things. As frequencies change, everything changes. When frequencies change, it is like moving from your house. The whole environment changes. These changes are designed to uplift everyone's life. They are designed to bring everyone to a greater place of ease and comprehension. They are designed to disengage human beings from the paradigm that has defined your world as solid and in very limited terms. Hi, Lee. I just saw Lee pop up and there's a little comment there, so that was wonderful. Thank you. Welcome. Um, I'm sure there are other people that are just listening, and I'm very glad that you're here. Don't be afraid to just pop in, say hello. Let's see. In very limited terms, when human beings make quality of life the number one priority in their lives by honoring the quality of Earth's life, there will be very few Earth changes upon this planet. However, most humans, particularly in the Western world, are concerned with a very different quality of life. How many electronic devices they own, How many clothes are in their closets? How many cars are in their garages? They are not at all connected to the effects of all of this material manufacturing on the sentient being that is your parent, our planet. If human beings do not change, if they do not make the shift in values and realize that without Earth they could not be here, then Earth, in its love for its own initiation and its reaching for a higher frequency, will bring about a cleansing that will balance it once again. There is a potential for many people to leave the planet in an afternoon. Maybe then everyone else will begin to wake up to what is going on. There have been events all along stimulating you, encouraging you, and bringing you to the realization that there must be global change. There are grassroots movements that are going to grow phenomenally. What happens to Earth depends on how willing everyone is to change. What is your responsibility in this? How willing are you to change? The time has come not just to talk about it, but to do it. As you commit to change in your own life, you automatically make the change available to the entire planet. Earth is striving for its integrity. The planet feels at this time deprived of its integrity, dishonored, and unloved. Earth loves you and gives you a place to operate. It is a living organism. Earth is about to reestablish its integrity and let you understand the importance of loving yourself by loving Earth. Love yourself and love Earth because they are the same. Earth changes could play an important role in breaking down the system. They will bring about the collapse of the insurance companies, what? Which will bring about the collapse of many other systems. Many of the banking businesses sell their mortgages to the insurance companies, and the insurance companies invested very heavily in the junk bond industry. Given a few more major disasters, like this is a while ago, remember guys, like Hurricane Hugo or the San Francisco earthquake, coupled with war and the underground economy, how long do you think they can continue to operate? On paper, no one has quite caught up with this yet. It is still a matter of checks shuffling from one bank to another and keeping everything just above water. So Earth changes more than likely will be utilized in some way to bring about the collapse. Earth changes will also bring about a joining and a triumph of the human spirit because men and women will go out to help other men and women when disasters occur, and this bonds people. And I have seen that, haven't you? Recently on the news, all we've been seeing is natural disasters, fires and floods, and yet there are the heroes there. So maybe that's what this is about. Just remembering that we are brothers and sisters. We just look a little different than each other. There are technologies that could clean this place up very quickly if that were the plan. However, as the species at present does not take responsibility for Earth, there would be no point. The present species must learn to honor its nest. All of you must learn to honor your bodies because without your bodies you would not be here. And without Earth you would not be here. Your body and your planet are your two greatest gifts and the most valuable things that you own. Ideally, you would express a sacredness and an honoring and cherishing and love of Earth and your physical being. This would resonate in your home, your property, the land you are associated with, and the land of your body as well. Earth is more resilient than you would imagine. It is here to feed you and sustain you. The animals are also here to work in cooperation with you. If everything is done with love, it has the force of the Creator behind it. Done with love, there would be no hurt and no harm. If you need a guide to make decisions about your behavior, ask yourself, am I operating with my highest integrity? Am I operating with love? Is love my intention for the earth, the animals, all the people I encounter, and all the things I do? Everything of earth can be used if earth is loved and honored in the process. It may be difficult to imagine a gang of oil workers before they set the bit into the ground, holding hands and asking for guidance and permission to penetrate the earth, and yet, if this were done, things would be much more in harmony. You laugh because you deem it foolishness to communicate to something that does not talk back. But if industry, educators, and all people first stopped and committed to the highest integrity and love for all involved and asked that there be no harm to earth or humans, it would be phenomenally received. This would put into motion the plan for a high civilization. Such awareness is the beginning to come. Many people are getting this kind of information at this time. Hello, Candace. Welcome, welcome. I'm reading Bringers of the Dawn at this time. Let's see. Many human beings do not want to put themselves in line and stand up in integrity because they are afraid of getting into trouble. They say, I will just keep my job and my security. What the heck? One of the most incredible things that can happen in any society occurs when everyone's security is taken away. Courage begins to blossom like a freshly planted garden because people have nothing to lose. Humans begin to stand up. Never feel that your efforts are in vain. Use the power of your mind to clearly intend what you want. Ask for assistance from non physical realms and visualize the outcome you would like to have. Understand that you create your reality and that every other person creates their reality. Everyone has the opportunity to wake up at any time. When you approach anything, approach it from the bigger picture. When enough people create their own reality, consciously create it, you will create a new planet. There will literally be splitting of worlds. This splitting will more than likely not occur for more than 20 years. But isn't it happening right now? In the meantime, Earth will more than likely be ravaged by war quite a few times. You will have some very puzzling and confusing space dramas take place with some space cousins who need to figure out, quite publicly, who they are. Earth is on a one-dimensional collision course, and many dimensions or probabilities will intersect one another in this decade. Some of these realities will be shocking, depending upon the level of shock each person needs to kick their consciousness into another paradigm. Shock does not mean destruction necessarily, it can simply be a method to alter the way you view reality. Whether you are shocked by something, you can no longer grip reality the way you gripped it at the moment before. There is an instantaneous kick in the stomach, and everything changes. The world is in for numerous shocks, and not simply on a national level. We are talking about global intersections of dimensions by which realities will seem to come crumbling down, only for those whose realities need to crumble. The concept of probabilities maintains that there is no one reality and that you yourselves branch off into other realities continuously through your thoughts. It is not that you change the world, it is that you change which world you occupy. This goes back to the idea that the world is not solid. It is constructed of energy, and that energy takes form through the thoughts of those that participate within the world. There are, and there always have been, probable Earths and probable experiences. There are probable yous leading quite different lives than the you know. You are frequency and you are energy. You are pulsating to the beat of a chord of energy that sings you into existence, and you are so familiar with it that you stay focused continuously on one aspect of your experience. Experience is gained from many perspectives, and you are learning how to change the frequency and the beat so that you can notice what you usually do not notice. You are continuously monitored as to the effect of the neurological changes that are taking place in your bodies. The rewiring or restructuring is like your nervous system going from a 2-lane highway system to a 12-lane highway system. When this takes place, you will have memories of events that have run simultaneously with other events. At first, this may freak you out a little bit because you will have no place to plug them in. For example, say 2 years down the road, you remember a Thanksgiving dinner that you had way back in the 80s. Then suddenly you have a memory of an event that you never before remembered. And it's right next to the parallel to that Thanksgiving dinner that you did remember. You then realize that you were at two Thanksgivings. This is what will happen as the nervous system comes into a new pulsation and the body has its library put back together. As the light encoded filaments reform themselves and broadcast what they have available, the nervous system must be able to carry and translate it. There is a great polarization of energies occurring with many participants and observers. Many who have come to observe have come to disrupt as well. They have come to learn their stuff in this time. There are also participants who are completely intent on creating a world that will be quite glorious. As we see it, as the probable worlds begin to form, there will be a great shifting within humanity on this planet. It will seem great chaos and turmoil are forming, that nations are rising against each other in war, and that earthquakes are happening more frequently. It will seem as if everything is falling apart and cannot be put back together. Just as you sometimes have rumblings and quakings in your lives as you change your own pattern, your old patterns, and move into new energies, Earth is shaking itself free, and certain realignment or adjustment period is to be expected. It will also seem that the animals and fish are departing Earth. Those animals are now moving over to the new world as it is being formed. Oh, I kind of like that because there were so many animals that were destroyed in the fires in California. Maybe they just shifted to the new earth. Kind of like that. They are not ending their existence, they are merely slipping into the new world to await your joining them. It is difficult to explain this to a certain extent because it is beyond the third dimensional experience. Basically, you are moving into the fourth dimension. When this move is made, you will literally form a new earth. It will seem as if you have awoken from a dream into a world that is pristine and beautiful. Your skies are full of observers watching and waiting to see how you will do this and offering to give you assistance in doing it. For many people, it seems as if this shift is completely beyond all possibility, but not for you who have studied this energy as alchemists and ancient Atlanteans in temple life. The training that you have had in other times is encoded within your beings to prepare you for this juncture. The people who leave the planet during the time of Earth changes do not fit here any longer, and they are stopping the harmony of Earth. When the time comes that perhaps 20 million people leave the planet at one time, there will be a tremendous shift in consciousness for those who are remaining. When a large group passes over together, they create an impact upon the consciousness of those who remain. Oh, she said, hello, Candace. She says, oh, that is interesting. I'm a bookworm. So am I. Candace says, now is actually a broad term. Is now the same for you and me both? I don't know. Isn't that right? Because time is linear. And I just feel like even though this book was written almost 40 years ago, yeah, about 40 years ago now. Wow, makes me feel old. But even though it was written so long ago, it really feels like it's got a message for all of us. Um, let's see. And I lost my spot. Not ending their existence. Okay. Expand yourselves. Begin to dwell in other realities besides the reality that is work and sleep and eating. When you are awake, let your mind expand to possibilities and let ideas come to you. Ideas are free, they are everywhere, and there are broadcasts continuously coming to the planet. When Earth does its shifting, not everyone will experience the same thing. Those who need to experience destruction will experience an Earth shift or rotation with destruction because they will not fit with the new frequency. Those who are prepared to hold a higher vibration will experience a frequency shift. So, for one person, there may be the end of their life as they know it and dire destruction, while for another, there will be a state of ecstasy. All potential exists. Remember, you live in a symbolic world that is a result of your thoughts. The outside world represents to you what is going on internally with you. So if the world is falling apart, what does that represent? It represents the falling apart or collapsing of what is inside in order to create the rise of a new system and new energy. It is imperative for you to love and bless the changes within society and not move into fear or anxiety about what is presenting itself. It is your task to be in the vibration of knowing, even without sense, that in every event there is an opportunity for spirit to do its work and to uplift. You are an exceptionally lazy species. You give your power away to anyone who will do things for you, whether it is your boss or your wife or your husband. You give your power away over and over again. In order to turn you towards yourself, you need some events to put you in charge of your lives. Bless these changes that come to earth, and in these events, trust that what you want with clarity will manifest. You will find yourself tested, and you will say, am I a victim here? Is this world collapsing around me? Or is it uplifting itself around me while everything is seemingly in the midst of a collapse? An important primary belief for you to hold is that you will be in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, intending that you will be in the right place at the right time, more than intending knowing it, will open you to guidance, perhaps without even looking for it. A piece of land or an opportunity to connect with someone else will be put before you. You will recognize it and say, this is for me. I shall take this. Believe it or not, there will come a time, or let us say, there could come a time in many of your lives when you will shut the door on life as you know it. Literally, you may give up the house that you have and walk out of it with only a few possessions. It does not seem possible now, does it? Something inside of you will say, my God, has the world gone mad? What are my values? What is the most important thing now for my survival? And Spirit will come in and guide you and tell you what is the most important thing for your survival. That may mean simply carting off a few possessions. Some of you in this life will literally stand on the threshold of your houses, look within, and it will be meaningless because the most important things will be your spiritual values and your life. All these material possessions and collections of things mean nothing in light of what you are becoming. Can you imagine the events that will be needed to move you into that action? They are not going to be small events. And it's time for my little break. So Please stay tuned for our wonderful commercial.
Welcome to Crystal Cove and Mystic Charms, where magic meets the mundane and the extraordinary becomes everyday. Are you ready to gift yourself with the whispers of ancient power stones? To the feel and hear the echoes of our ancient past? Dive into a world where each pendant tells a story, where rare stones hold secrets known only to the universe itself. At Crystal Cove, our collection isn't just jewelry. It's a gateway to a realm of mysticism and wonder. Let the shimmering opal guide you through twilight dreams, or embrace the fiery energy of the sun with our exquisite amber pendants. Each piece, handcrafted by the hands of a true mystic who understand the language of the earth and the fire of one's heart. At Crystal Cove and Mystic Charms, we believe that every soul deserves to sparkle. Whether you seek solace in the calming embrace of amethyst or wish to dance with the vibrant hues of turquoise, our collection holds the key to unlocking your inner magic if you allow it to be so. Visit us today and discover the pendant that speaks to your soul. Crystal Cove and Mystic Charms, where the beauty of our amazing earthy realm meets the magic of the cosmos.
Hey there, Hunter. Go check out our friends at Colorado Custom Game Calls. They are all about creating a high-quality, custom, unique game calls at an affordable price. They are here for hunters that can't and won't pay upwards of $180 to $200 per game call. They pride themselves on giving their customers the opportunity to not only purchase an affordable and high-quality call, but to customize their game call to their liking. So listen up and go check them out. That's www.coloradocustomgamecalls.com. They got calls for all type of game, and all the game calls can be custom made to your own likeness. That's www.coloradocustomgamecalls.com. Tell them Matthew sent you from the Matrix Minds.
What is up, all my beautiful and gorgeous souls? I am Michelle Espinosa, otherwise known as the Shaman, through the Matrix Mind Media. So tell me, how many times have you wished that you had that special power of prediction? You know, to know what was going to happen before it actually happened and took place. To have some power and control over that situation before things came flying at you out of left field. The thing is, you actually can have that power. You can be aware of what's coming. Tune in to Astrology TV with me for Breaking the Cage every Sunday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Matrix Mind Media. And I will go through the astrology and help put you on the right course and get you back in control of your own life. Love you guys.
This CBD fluid is a whole flower fluid extracted from the cannabis flower. We don't use any heat, butane, or chemicals when we extract, so we get all of the components of the plant. All the CBD, CBG, CBA, all the terpenes, all the flavonoids. This allows our body to absorb at 60 to 90% rather than the average of 6 to 10% absorption you would get with a CBD oil. Because our bodies are made up of mostly water and this is a fluid, it's highly absorbable so that you're getting 500% more nutraceuticals per dose. We also have this available in our CBD spray as well as a muscle rub with all kinds of botanicals. You're going to absolutely love it.
Check it out, Brainiacs. MatrixMinds.live/CBD. CBD I use. Feel free again. Feel alive again.
And welcome back to Just a Moment. Again, my name is Kristen Harding. Welcome to the show. I'm just going to pop back over here. There we go. Tested, you got that right. Yeah, Candace, right? We have been tested. Hello, Rose. Let's see. I think that's all the comments. Yep. Alrighty. So where were we? They are not going to be small events. Remember humanity's destiny to evolve. We guarantee that life as you know it will not be around 10 years from now. Not true? Internet. The world as you know it, the reality as you know it, the comforts and projections and vacations and all the things that you do now will not be here for you 10 years from now. You are here for your own personal evolution. How that evolution is going to come about worldwide will be rather interesting. We are not talking about the evolution of a few dozen people. We are talking about the evolution of a species. There will need to be some events to bring people to awakening. That is why it is going to be your challenge to live your life with courage and to have the courage to live your light. We recommend that all of you intend that the Native American teachings come your way. Begin to explore them through sweat lodges, drumming, dancing, and so on. This will awaken many things in you and teach you about the earth. You are coded to ritual. When you perform ritual, your body begins to remember who you are and what you know. As we see it, communities are going to be very influential in the future. They will form on tracts of land that will be anywhere from 50 to a few hundred acres, perhaps as small as 25 acres, and they may house anywhere from 30 to 100 people. These groups will come together because the members will be responding to an inner knowing. The new technologies that will be used in the coming communities will be technologies based on love. There's nothing wrong with technology. The major stumbling block of technology now in use on this planet is that it is used to separate, manipulate, and control people rather than to uplift them. Technology with love is the key. Many people will be given great amounts of technological information that will be seemingly coming out of nowhere. You may be given information for an invention and yet not have any idea what it is that you are inventing. You may have to hand it over to somebody else to bring it into reality. People will work together in harmony to bring forth this new technology. Part of the evolution of consciousness involves uniting one consciousness with another, not keeping yourself separated. Perhaps one person will come up with an idea, and another one will take the idea and put it into manifestation, and someone else will sell it. As we see it, there will be tremendous underground market for new inventions. These inventions will never be shown in the traditional marketplace because you would be wiped out, snuffed, if it was known that you had these abilities. There will be great trading from one community to another of these underground technologies that will do all kinds of things for you. It can be one of the most rewarding experiences of this lifetime for you to live in cooperation with a group of people who love the land and get the land, Earth, to respond. In loving the land and letting Earth know what it is you are after, Earth will nurture and take care of you. That is the key. And we're on chapter 16, Heretics, Ahead of Time. Candace says, oh, hi. Hi, Larry. Larry says, hi, everybody. Can't get it to pop up there. There we go. Hi. Today, it says, Candace says, today's world 40 years ago, when this book was written, it was groundbreaking, new knowledge. Lightworkers have come a long way in the last 40 years. Still relevant, good info. Thank you. So, chapter 16, Heretics Ahead of Time. This one's a short one. The 60s were a time of preparation. They held your initial awakening and were a time that showed you that new paradigms could be born. During that decade, you suddenly became far removed from the values of the previous generations. The 60s were full of events, such as the movements for peace and the movement for expression of the body, which supported looking at the body and accepting and sharing sexuality with full consciousness, with clothes off, rather than finding body parts between layers of clothes, which is what other generations did before us. Consciousness was birthed and the idea of peace and freedom was awakening. That was kindergarten. The 90s were the time to bring the movement of spirituality onto the planet, and not just in small pockets, but onto the entire planet. The planet is awakening all over. We travel the planet and can tell you that you have your counterparts in every corner of the globe. Well, hello to the other me then. The team of light that you represent made sure that they covered all their bases because there are light workers everywhere. You are coming into your own. The movement towards spirituality is a movement away from materialism. Over the last number of years, many people have gotten very into their bodies, regenerating them, exercising them, and making them more beautiful. That has simply been preparation so that you could move into spirit. The realm of spirit is a very exciting place. It has more flexibility. There are more places to travel and the great adventures to be had, and there are no limitations. The reason physical reality has been so frustrating for you is because you bought the stories about its limitations, hook, line, and sinker. You bought them because you had made the agreement to do so. It was part of your plan to buy into these limitations so that you could relate to those who have no idea about the light and who have been buying into the limitations for their whole existence. You are going to electromagnetically alter the planet, rewire it, so to speak, so that all of these other beings can be plugged in once again. You can only do this if you can relate to where they are. If you had come here with your memory banks open, either you would not have wanted to stay or you would not now understand the others. So you have been submerged in a society that has been without light, and you have forgotten your light, or vaguely remember it as you grew up, so that you could relate to that world. Now it is time for you to integrate that world of society into the multi-dimensional world of light and spirit you represent, so the values and designs of this planet will begin to change completely. Heretics are ahead of their time. The heretical ideas that have come onto the planet always prove to be brilliant later. So have courage. It only seems as if these new ideas are being ridiculed. You must remember that there is much activity in the non-physical realms to assist you, and that even though each of you has your own blueprint and plan to evolve into, you are part of a global blueprint and global consciousness. You are firing that global blueprint and awakening others. You awaken in waves as each of you learns to carry information and broadcast it. If everyone were awakened at once, it would be very chaotic. The awakening must happen as you are able to handle it, because putting too much light into an element that cannot handle it would blow a fuse. If the electrical currents are not matched up, the body can be destroyed. You will see this. You are going to see a disease move over the planet that has to do with the nervous system and memory, because people won't be able to handle the energy. They will become frightened of it. They may discover a multidimensional portion of themselves and think that they are crazy. Then they will be obsessed with keeping their sanity quiet from their husband or their wife or their children, and people will drive themselves into a frenzy with this energy because they won't understand it. We cannot emphasize enough that the nervous system is the key to open your ancient eyes and see, and for you to remember who you are, where you come from, and where you are going. The nervous system must be able to take the electrical current into the body, transduce the high energy, and fit it inside the body and let the body evolve and nurture itself on this high energy that is consciousness. This is literally what is occurring. It is as if you were to take a newborn babe and feed this babe a formula that would force it to grow from a day-old infant to a 30-year-old adult in 1 year. This parallels what will be happening for you over the next 20 years. That newborn child would become 30 in 1 year. Think about what that child would have to do and what its body would have to integrate to grow like that. Think about the organs, the functions, and the hormones. Since you are committed carriers of light, there is a certain opening within your auric field. There is an opening that the pillar of light brings so that guardians can come down and act as gatekeepers for how much energy you can handle. Even even though your intellect, mind, and ego may say more, 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 the gatekeepers know that because you are a carrier of light and have committed to a certain task, you cannot be lost. Unless, that is, you are bent on your own personal destruction, and you must move past what is called the highest will into the will of yourself. The nervous system, which is a highway within the body, can only move at the rate you can process the data flooding over it into the cells. Many of you are still cleaning out caverns within portions of your being that have been filled with darkness. These caverns may be from this lifetime. They may go back to childhood. Or for some of you, they may be from other lifetimes. Many of you have been on this journey for 25, 30, 40, 50 years, while others of you are newly joined. Not everyone is going to take the same amount of time. Those who have been plodding along for 30 years are the way showers. You set up a vibrational frequency. Oh, she's talking about the hippies. A vibrational frequency that those of you who are new joiners can feel. You who are the new joiners don't have to go looking for the new frequency to discover it. The mapping is done, and the mapping hits your body. You all need one another. It is imperative that you work in harmony. If you don't work in harmony, you will create Atlantis and all of the other destructions over and over again. Harmony is required. It really is, because otherwise we're going to go into another reset, and we don't want that. A time is coming when many of you will be put to work with spirit to broadcast frequency and assist others in comprehending what is going on. The waves of awakening will continue, and spirit will become a way of being on this planet. That is the plan for this planet. And the creative cosmic rays from Prime Creator are hitting the fringes of your galactic system, moving here first. That is why the great gatherings of energies has come here. These energies want to participate in the transformation here so that they will be prepared when it comes to their own area of galactic and universal existence. There is a huge transformation taking place, but what you do with it, of course, is up to you. We have said that your world is going to split into two worlds, and that those who move within the light will be in the world of light. This split is already beginning to take place. Those entities who wish to work with the higher vibratory fields that represent light, and those who wish to work with the lower vibratory fields that represent fear, darkness, chaos, control, and confusion, are beginning to polarize and choose sides. Those who work with lower vibrational fields will say to you that you are witches or the devil because you represent something that they don't understand. You represent change, and you must remember that most people are frightened to the death of change. One of the most curious things about about human consciousness is that it is enamored of stability. You bought the concept that stability is something desirable, hook, line, and sinker. So you strive for it. You think that if you do not have stability and security, then who are you? You might not exist. You might be annihilated. We are talking about many people you know. Some may even be family members. You will need to develop a tremendous amount of patience and compassion for those who feel this energy and who do not want to respond to it in a way that can benefit them. You are going to have to become very allowing and perhaps even allowing others to destroy themselves so that they can learn the value of this life. Even though human beings are not consciously aware of it, you know in the deepest portion of your beings that you move from one existence to another and gather experience so that your soul can understand and process data to give you a view of one reality. Someday, you will be able to scan the lives and existences of your soul and hold the energy of that soul just like you would hold a crystal. Look at the different facets and sparkles within it and feel and know that identity. When you are able to do this with your soul will be able to connect with other forms of intelligence that it is a part of, but does not presently comprehend. We are stretching you. We want you to become completely confused so that you will be energized. Then you will utilize your curiosity to take you into areas that not only have you never thought of, you never knew existed. This is our intention, that you come to a higher ground where you can create a new order of identity courageously, with humor, and with confidence. All things are frequencies. If you knew how rapidly you are evolving, you might want to sit in a chair and put your hand over your head and say, I can't do it. There's too much going on. You keep the veil pulled down and pretend to go about life as if nothing is happening when you are continuously being upgraded with all kinds of changes to bring you closer to the higher dimensions. Think about and feel what you are going to achieve in one lifetime. Within the next 10 to 20 years, you will move from being dense physical creatures into creatures of light in the age of light. Can you conceive this? Everything that you are doing, including eating a pizza, is bringing you into a divinely perfect way to that place. At some point, you will understand the importance of every event which you are participating in and the integrity of the whole. In the movie The Karate Kid, the kid is very impatient while learning karate. He finds a master and doesn't even think he has found a master. He is given things to do that he thinks are a waste of time. He does not understand that each piece he learns makes up the greater whole. You are like this kid. All the pieces are coming together, but because of the vision of your ego, you do not understand at this time that they make the greater whole. You will be put to task, and you will find that you are seeking. All that you are seeking will be yours, and that is good news. Be aware and learn how to recognize when your will is usurping the divine will and the divine plan, when you are forcing too much onto yourself because you are not operating out of common sense. Look at yourself in the mirror and see how you look. Look at your eyes, because your eyes are an indicator for your whole physical body. Are they clear? Are you able to look back with clarity? Is your face lined or exhausted or calm? How does your body feel? Are you able to sit in a serene position? Are you able to hold your body erect, or do you feel the need to slump over? Do you fidget because you cannot hold the energy in your body? So your body is always dancing and twitching because it does not know what to do. Are your fingers always drumming? Or are you gnawing on your fingers? There are many indications to watch for. You can look around and see who cannot integrate energy. Once you bring this energy into your body and are able to hold it, your body will begin to feel a lightness. There will be a vitality in your skin or perhaps your hair. Your hair is a very good indication of your health. Common sense, of course, is one of your best comrades to hang around with. Common sense will show you what is right and what is not. At times, you will recognize that the energy has become too much and you are not calm and centered. This will occur for you, each and every one of you at some point. In some way, you will feel as if it's just too much. It's happening. There will be too much data to compute, too many people to talk to, or too much going on. When this happens, you must think of yourself as an appliance and unplug yourself. Just like you are a toaster, simply unplug yourself so that you can be out of use. At those times, what you need to do more than anything else is rest. Some of you will need a tremendous amount of sleep at different points. Do not think you are getting lazy and beat yourself up. Simply acknowledge it. There will be times when some of you will wish to sleep 18 hours. Do it. It is necessary. You have no idea of the lands you travel to and the work done on your physical body when you sleep. It is the time when you are unplugged from this reality and recharged and taught in other realities. The bridges and your eyes will open between realities and you will begin to see and carry these memories. That's all I have for now, dear lights. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, hello, Tammy. I want to say to you, say hello before I go. And go, hi. Thank you so much for joining us. Never forget that you are amazing. You are loved. Be well, be safe out there. And I'll see you on the next show. Bye.
Welcome to Crystal Cove and Miss